New York is probably one of the greatest cities in the world. I'm not sure that any of my family would have envisioned that I'd ultimately end up living and raising my children here in New York. I grew up very close to the university, and I was certainly spent my early years hanging out around the college. My father had graduated in 1946, and my three older siblings were all graduates of the college, so I probably thought that I had graduated long before I was even admitted. But ultimately I did a BA in Economics and English and graduated in 1986. And then through a fortuitous set of circumstances, I met Aidan Daly and Jim Ward and ended up doing what is today known as the Masters in Marketing program. But living in Galway and being Oliver Hynes' daughter and Gary and Jerome Hynes' sister kind of made me feel like I'd like to set my own course and move abroad. Today I run a marketing communications agency called Text 100, and in fact I joined Text when it was just a startup in London in the early 90s, at a time when technology was, innovating and disrupting. This was the period when Steve Jobs and Bill Gates were, creating major disruption in the industry through technology. Shortly after that, we had aspirations to go global. So I moved to Silicon Valley and set up our first US office. Then sometime around 2002, I took over as CEO of the company, at which stage we had already begun to build offices across Asia. We then had an opportunity to pitch the IBM business, which would probably stand as an icon in technology. And we were fortunate enough to win that business, which I think probably put us on the map. Today, we're in 22 countries across the world. We have 700 employees, and we work with pretty much every technology company, everybody from Facebook through to Adobe and Cisco. We're also now working with companies where their industries are being disrupted by technologies. Today, what we're finding is that we can help shape reputations, shape a brand perception, where they are looking at the impact that they have as a business on both societal and political change. I think the other thing that energizes me is the opportunity to be able to have an impact on helping people drive their careers in a supportive and energizing and passionate environment is fantastic. I also believe that it's important that we take a position on things like diversity and inclusion, not just for this generation, but for a generation of employees to come. While it's been extraordinary to have a career, it was always really important to me that that didn't compromise my opportunity to have children. I have 4 kids, Hannah, Paul, Sinead and Oliver. Over the years it's been important that even though I've traveled a lot and work has taken me away from family, that it didn't compromise my ability to have both. And so it's fantastic today to see them pursue their own career or indeed be in university and have them believe the same thing. I'm regularly in Ireland. I mean, it's still a big part of who I am as a person, and I'm actually delighted that despite the fact that my children were born in the UK and in the US, that they feel a great sense of culture that they've really embraced and they love.